Of Fireball Friday without the fireball. So I thought I'd give you guys an update on the bluegill skirts we got going on because we got an unboxing that is actually the chatterbaits I originally intended to put some of these bluegill skirts on. They finally showed up literally just days after that crazy how long it took that UPS to deliver our tackle warehouse order, right? It was insane. So anyway, I ran up to Rogers and I thought I'd show you guys. You guys know the deal. When I do a live stream, we wander, meander all over. You're talking about Donald Trump talking and he weaves a tail. He ain't got nothing on Bass Bonza. You guys know the deal. So I've changed the studio around a bit. This is the original table I was working on stuff with. I know it looks like the same one. It's actually an old end table that's made out of like true marble, granite, or something. It's stout. Like you can beat and bang on and work on stuff and clamp stuff on the side. It's a good table. And the other one is like an old coffee table and end table set that I use for, like you can use it like workbenches, basically. The metal, it's solid metal stands. Anyway, I got it more or less directly under a big LED shop light, hopefully to intensify the color somewhat on these live streams, because I was noticing it was kind of looking not as good as I remember it being year before last. So I ran up to Rogers today because I think they're only, I know, right where my new work location changed. Rogers has cost me money being that close because I think it's literally like 10 minutes away, if that, up north. So I picked up this because I didn't need another chatterbait, but I believe, honestly, this is the first thunder cricket I've ever purchased myself. I fished some. I don't think I've ever bought a thunder cricket. So this is it's a new one. Like you guys we're like setting new things here, right? So this is a 5/8, and I don't know. I guess I should just try. I should leave it alone. I should leave it alone, but I probably won't. And one thing I guess I kind of knew, but then I relearned. You guys know that it's possible to relearn something. Is that the thunder cricket is actually free floating where this mounts. I'm not 100% sure how they do that, other than through these eye holes. There's actually holes that they stick a shaft through there, through the hook, and I don't know exactly how they do it. But none of the other baits, like everything else, is pretty much like a jig head, like the hook, comes up kind of deal, and it is mounted. So I don't know if that extra little wiggle and moving around is actually a plus or a negative. In my opinion, it would probably be a plus. It's got to make more noise underwater than one that's stuck. Maybe not as hard a thumping sound, but more of a whatever sound. Now, the thunder crickets I have fished, as you guys probably know, I can't tell a difference. Once you get blades like this on the jackhammer, any of the Z-Mans that have that similar head, these thunder crickets, I can't tell a difference in my opinion. Like they all thump pretty good and hard. But anyway, we've got I think this one, along with the one I just bought, the custom, are the only two heavy ones I have at the moment. I've had that crazy 2.5 ounce Picasso. I've had that huge 1.5 ounce, whatever jackhammer that is. I think those are horrible. I don't like them. But I think these are the only two at the moment I have that are anything over a 1/2 ounce. I have 1/2 ounce, 3/8, and then we go down to the micros and minis and the flashback minnows. So I'll show you the skirt I want to put on this, but I may wait and talk myself into fishing that one. It's still up in the air. So yeah, let me set this over with the other heavy one. We'll get to it in a minute. We're not done talking about thunder crickets. But before we get to the unboxing and the bluegill melee, you see I have peanut butter and jelly melee going off on the other table with my jigs. And then chatterbaits are bluegill now. I have Definitely more bluegilly type patterns than any other, even black and blue or any other thing right at the moment. And I'm not even done yet. That's just like one skirt out of each one, or not even that. Like some of them, I don't even think I've used this one yet. This is sort of the start to my black and blue. If you guys remember right, my black and bluegill. But I don't. I think I'm going to abandon that. So anyway, if you guys ever follow the channel, you know I talk about balanced combos. You know, I had the single lifestyle. I balanced my rods, and a lot of people were like, "Well, I don't even get the point and all that." Now, the balanced rod part, the easiest way to do it is simply go to through, I believe, the mud hole and some of them places, or you could take it to a place and they can put on a thing. Basically, it's like a screw, and you change out these little rings, and you can balance it to each reel you put on your rod and all that kind of stuff. You know the deal here. These are 75 cents up at Rogers Sporting Goods. I've talked about it before. These you can get off AliExpress for like $1. So for like a couple dollars and a hammer and a little willpower, you can make yourself a way to balance fishing rods. So I buy the 1.5 ounce because they're about the right size to put in these large and or the extra large, depending on what thickness your rod is on the butt. But so 1.5 ounce, little for, you know, like catfish, just different kind of rigging things, but it's lead. So all I do, like seriously, like literally, I take a hammer and I beat them down. If you look in there, you can see where it still says 1.5. And I either cut some off and then beat it and smash it down, but then I put tape on it so like the edge, you know, like this lead's not going to be hitting on my rod, because it does two things. You stuff this inside the large, or it fits a little easier. And technically, if you had one this big, you could make like a 2 ounce, and you could even add more weight. I know you're thinking that's a lot of weight, you know, almost 1.5 ounces. But here's the thing. I'm going to show you, and then we'll, you know, for those of you, and I'm kind of debating, like, I'm tempted to just try. I've done it this way for so long. And when I grab somebody else's rod and reel combo, I'm like, oh God, everything. Once you start doing this, everything you pick up anywhere, I don't care, a Poison Adrena BFS rod with whatever reel on it will feel tip heavy once you've balanced a rod. Now, you could get away from that by just taking all your balanced stuff. Now, some of these rods, I've actually built it in. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So these AliExpress rods I was getting, if you guys remember the filling. Now the filling I put on different handle. So it has some lead up inside. And so what you end up with is this rod with no reel on it balances right about there. Like almost where it needs to be. So then I was putting, you know, real lightweight, you know, these crazy lightweight reels. So with the reel, it ends up balancing in between these two fingers. So this is what, if you guys hear me talking about, I'm like this. So it's just a little tip heavy. That's because there's no reel on it. And it's literally actually, it may have a touch more weight than it is needed. But you end up with a rod that it feels like nothing's out in front of you. Yes, you added, I don't even know what I added. I don't think I added 1 ounce. It was probably like 1/2 ounce in this because this is a smaller rod. And then with the cork, added a little weight, putting a full handle. It didn't have a full handle. But when you can get to that point to where you can literally rock the balancing between your two front fingers. So if I'm out there, you know, I've talked about it, I don't know, every time I talk about being, you know, my rod and reel combos being versatile. And this blank material is actually pretty sensitive. So this could be throwing little BFS stuff, cranks, and all kinds of other stuff, or it could be used for shaky head and different stuff because it's real sensitive. But so when you're balanced like that, for bottom bouncing stuff, it's awesome to be able to sit here and, you know, I don't know, just it is way, in a full day of fishing, when everything's pretty much balanced, it just, in my opinion, is better. So anyway, let me show you one. Like I talked about, if you guys remember, I have to take this off. This combo here, because this is a, well, crazy expensive rod and reel, but if you guys remember right, and I'll try to show you. this rod is pretty much balanced right there, right? This combo. If I try to just my front finger, it's actually heavy in the back. So all I did on this one, if you guys remember right, I put 4 wheat pennies. I had 4 wheat pennies. Any pennies would actually work with that butt cap, and this thing is all it took. This is that 6'6", 802 right there, 782C MBR 6'6" Conquest. So just a little bit of weight, and this thing is like insanely. I don't know. I call it like a. The 802 6'6" is kind of like a BFS on steroids. If you like, it'll throw, especially with that steez on it, shallow spool. I can throw light. I can throw it. It can go as a BFS combo, but it's like got power up into almost a heavy medium. Probably not for bigger jig, but anyway. So that's what I picked up at Rogers. So if any of you are thinking about doing it, you can find these all over AliExpress. You can get probably any local tackle place. You can buy these just bulk lead, or you can find different ways. Even on AliExpress, you can get a tungsten putty. You could get, they make like golf tape, like thicker strands. Because one other way that I'm tempted to do it, and then we're going to move on to unboxing. So on some of these rods, not necessarily that one I just showed you. Now this one I haven't weighed yet. I just stuck these on because actually when I'm down here jacking around, the ends of your, the butts could get jacked up the way I'm down here on concrete. But one alternative that you can weigh any of your split grips now, and you could probably not use that, but like right in here, you could wrap, you'd want to put like one little wrap of electrical tape, but then they make like a lead tape you could wrap up to get it, a little thicker, and then use that to balance. They sell that on AliExpress too. Like I believe it's 100 grams roll for like $7. So I'll just show you how this one. See how that there's no weight added. So to get this is a lightweight combo also, but it is not balanced. So I don't know what it would take, but I'll try to show you. As of right now, somewhere up in here. So just to get those few extra, 3 to 4 inches moved down, you'd be surprised sometimes it does take a little bit of weight. Probably the most surprising one, if you truly want to balance. Now, I'm going to have to redo maybe a couple of these. But like this is one of my lightest combos, period. The Poison Adrena with this MG Extreme 2 on it. And that weight I was showing you guys, because right now I robbed it to use on another one. This one doesn't have anything on it. So I'm going to try to just show you. So I don't think that's 1.5 ounces. I think I cut some off, but it's probably over 1 ounce. So this rod and reel combo, because there's nothing back here. This is all just hollowed out. These are lightweight, crazy lightweight rods, but this is why. There's nothing on the back end. So the 611 medium plus with this little reel is going to feel tip heavy. So I'll try to show you somewhere, like see how that's still tipping up, like way out here. So it probably doesn't need this much now, but that's that full one off the other one. This is, I think, the one when I had originally had it on. Maybe not. So now, yeah, that's about how much it would take. So if you see when my middle finger there, it's tip heavy, and then when I put my finger in front and remove my other finger, take the pressure off, it starts tipping back. So it takes about that much weight for a 6'11" when there's nothing on this back end. But if the overall weight of this is still a perfectly balanced, 6'11" combo, is still lightweight. Anyway, enough about that. It's for some people it's not for. They don't care, and they're just used to. Once you do get used to, if you've just used to weight out on the end, it's no big deal. But once you've fished with, especially some of these BFS combos. you can instantly tell difference because some of those combos are actually they're balanced right off the bat. They don't feel tip heavy at all because they're only like 5'6" or whatever, and very thin diameter blanks. Anyway, on with the show. That's the stuff I got at Rogers. That's what I had going on there. This thing's been opened. It wasn't by me. We're going to open it again. This package is from AliExpress and has taken a month to get here. So I ordered this January 29th. Like if you guys remember like from weeks ago, I was opening stuff. This package, I guess, got lost because on the front it says change of service requested or something. So I think it must have got lost or something. And it's not much. Oh, wow, that stunk. The minute I opened that, I smelled something. Oh, did I cut the package is why? I just instantly got a bad smell. Yeah, I can still smell it. Oh, these little dudes. These could be crispy little creatures. They don't look as... I just pictured these being a lot... I guess they'll move in water. But here's those little baits, kind of like what the little dice we talked about, where you can rig them up like you would wacky style, like right in the middle, or you could cut them apart and use one as an individual little bug type bait. Wacky rigged, you could kind of use as a regular bait, like on a drop shot, regular size, but cut down, you're probably talking like a BFS type deal, but I just thought I'd try those. Yeah, they're called a two-way. You know, you do it either a different way or whatever. 8 of them in there. I can't even. I don't even remember how much those were. But I thought I did like that color. You can see it's got like the green, kind of like a spray grass, kind of like a summer crawl mix on the bottom. Kind of like a spray grass. Should work. This should catch fish. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. All right, so I'm going to unbox all this other stuff, and then we're going to go to the bluegill stuff. So here is the final one, and I'm sure there's probably a couple different packages. Maybe not. Yeah, there's more. So you guys know the deal. From AliExpress, we got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So 4, here's the big boy. Here's the stuff that here's what we've been waiting for to actually work on stuff with. Here's what, I don't even know what these are either. Now these came quick. This bigger, that thing was, I'd have to go back and look, but I'm telling you, right around the same time I ordered these skirts, I ordered those to put with the skirts, because I knew I didn't have enough chatterbaits to, okay, well this is, why did they package these separately? That's weird. So here's some of them, right here. So the first one, and I did not get this because of the color of the skirt. And then, why does it always look dark down here? Hang on, let me try to, I think, is it because I had the white? Let me take the white out. It's like the camera changes. Does that help? Let me move those for a minute. No. I pull that up and it's like the camera self-adjusts or something. I know, there's probably a way to go in there and fix that, but it ain't going to be by me and it ain't going to be today, that's for sure. So that color, I'm sure, may work, especially this time of year. You may be able to get out there and get them, but I'm going to, and I got a few different colored ones because I believe, and I'm hoping that they've got darker colored heads, because this head is like a dark brown with the black on top. I mainly got it to get the 3/8, what they call 10.5 gram, but 3/8 with a gold blade head already. That brown head, similar to this one, but this one started out a little different color. So I have no idea. I ordered all of the chatterbaits from the same place. Maybe these colors were, I'm assuming this little package is the same thing. Yeah, I don't know why it's in these two should be, or no, wait. One should be, I should have 2 1/2 ounce and 2 3/8. As you can see how the color is different as you size. That's definitely the smaller one, and then that's the bigger one, and it is a different colored head. And then, so I don't know how many different companies are making these knockoffs, but I can already tell you there's the original, that color brown one had like a pattern on the head. Both of these are just a solid black on the head. Like there's no, it's just a solid black. But that wasn't this color when I ordered it. So anyway, we're going to keep going. Let's look at our little package here. Take a time out from ChatterBaits. I do not remember ordering. Oh, I guess it comes with that many O-rings because you don't know which size you need for what reel. I was like, that is a lot of O-rings. What did I do with my knife? So I had the one that I think I got free in a package or something. But as you guys know, half the rods that come with a hook keeper aren't in a good spot. These are very cheap on AliExpress, so I got a couple of those to try. I'd never tried one like this. They look funkier than the other ones, but I think they may work better. You guys comment if you've dealt with these. But then here's the old tried and true that suck, but sometimes you just get them and put them on just so you'll have a place to stick your bait without, look at all those O-rings. I did not order that many. I only ordered 4. I'm pretty sure. Holy Jesus, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't order this many, and I'm pretty sure I didn't pay for that many. I don't even have, like, I've got maybe, I don't even have 10 rods that need this. It doesn't already have hook keepers. Oh well, I got that gold color mainly. I just got 2, I think. I think I only ordered 2 because I thought, well, I'll put them on my, you know, the gold kind of goes with, I've got one on, I think it's on the Super Destroyer. And I was like, well, I'll get one. I didn't even know if I could, you know, because I have swim baits and big baits that I use on the tequila back rack. But then I'm like, I'll get one if, because if I put anything other than the Zillion on it, I don't have a bait keeper on the blade. So I don't know why they gave me this many. I'll have to look, make sure I didn't get charged. I'm pretty sure they didn't charge me anymore. Oh well, something else to set in the pile. I did want to open one of these up and just check it out. First time I dealt with this style, I'd seen them, I don't know how long ago it was. Come on. Come on. Here's the downside to these, like depending on which, sometimes those are just junk and degrade real quick and it just falls off and this disappears off in La La Land. So this style, same principle, you wrap it around, but there's no flipping it back and forth. It just sits there and you can rig up, put the hook right here or a hook through there, a couple different ways to, like one thing about the other ones is if you had your, like you got a soft plastic kind of thing, like a Texas rig swim bait or something, underspin, you know, the other way to go like this, you got to like stick it out of the plastic and put it through. So I don't know. It's very cheap, so of course they're going to be, you know, cheap to buy because there's nothing there. A little chunk of plastic, that a couple O-rings. That's literally like a quarter to 50 cents, and I think they're a couple bucks or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, I know you guys are enthused. I can tell. I'm not even enthused, and I ordered it. But it looks like that one, although it looks kind of funky, just putting that in the right spot and having it on your rod can definitely come in handy. That's all I'm going to say about it. And then we're going to go to the big package, and then we're going to talk about bluegill patterns. So this should be all the other chatterbaits. There should be a total of 12, so it should be 10 more to go. I ordered 4 of one color 3/8, 4 of another color, slightly different, but roughly, you know, all with gold. I didn't even need a knife for this one. All with the gold blades. Let's see what we got here. All right, it's empty. Nothing in there to hide. That's actually still a very good. I don't even know what I would use it for. I don't need it, but okay, here we go. So I'm going to turn these. What in the world? They put tape all the way, like completely covering them. What is wrong with these people? They like tried to hide it so like you couldn't tell what it is. This is ridiculous. I'm going to have to open every one to make sure I got the right stuff. All these baits are completely taped up to where you can't make out what they are. There's what they are. So the one color, oh, there's 2 that you can make out. So there's another one of those that we already got. So, oh boy, Jesus criminy. Hang on. Set these right here. So let me move a spot just so I'll know and you'll know. There should be 2 of those, 4 of these, and the 3/8. So there's 2. That's the other one. And yeah, this one, oh my God, they taped up over the top. Dear Lord. Hang on. Oh my gosh. We're going to get to the bottom of these chatterbaits. I was going to open just a couple of one of the other colors to show you the different heads are slightly different. It's the reason I had the variance in colors. But I kind of need to open them all and just make sure they're all there. So yeah. This one almost looks like it's got a slight hint of orange. Can you guys see the difference in the color? It almost... These would be good for bluegill. Like I'll probably do my little splash of... Where's one? Where's my big brown one? Oh boy. I'll probably add a little splash. Like that one I just added a little splash of like blue glitter. Maybe, I don't know if I'll mess with any of... I don't know how far I'll go. Because whatever I do to one, I need to do to them all, at least the 10. Remember, if you remember right, so I can put on these skirts on and we can kind of test and see. So I did leave them too. So the skirts, just a quick follow-up. The very first bunch, when I did the unboxing of the skirts, the exact skirts I stuffed in with this package of the DT Pros. And then I've since then got a couple DT Pros out and rigged them on other baits. We'll talk about that in a minute. But there's all the ones untouched. I'm not going to tamper with. We're going to stick them on. Some of these new heads, all the same thing. And at some point, once I get on any sort of a chatterbait bite that if I catch a fish on a bluegill pattern, or it seems like that might be what they're hitting on, we'll try to put together a little test. Because I'm curious, like, is there one bluegill pattern that kind of stands out? I'll be honest, my mind's telling me it doesn't make a big difference. If the darker ones, the darker ones, more the clear the water or brighter the day, and then the brighter high, intensity color ones may be better. The dark day, dark water kind of thing, murky, muddy. So here's the other color, and you guys, this is the one I've already. I don't like that color. I do like this color. This color will and does work right just like that. I've caught several fish. You can change trailers up to change the color somewhat. The skirting from AliExpress does fade, not real quick, but it will get even lighter. And I think that's already lighter than some of them I've gotten previously. Time out. So yeah, just to show you, Now this could be, it may not be a consistency problem. It could just be what places you order from. But here's one I've had. It's still, I think it, well, no, it's a little dirty. It's probably been used, but if you look, that is two different colors of pretty much everything. This, just like these, if I was out fishing and it was a dark day, even though there's different sizes, but like that color is just a little more intense. This is a muted. I actually like this better myself, that orange. But anyway, that's just to show you that all these, whatever, these aren't jackhammer quality. They're Jackie Hammers. So, with the knockoff, it's going to be knocked off. All right, let's keep going. So, we've got one of the bigger ones. That is the bigger. There should be two of those also. And then there should be three more of the one little one and four more of the other ones. I guess this would be a good video. We could check consistency on the ones that did show up. So yeah, it's like the 3/8s have just darker heads. The skirt material. It's funny is how they put them on. Like that one, orange is on top. This one, orange is on bottom. Let's keep going. If you ask me, it probably doesn't matter. Naturally, I would have orange on bottom of everything, just like on crankbaits and stuff like that. Or all around instead of in one, like I wouldn't have just my brightest color on the very top. I'd have it either down kind of inside, like if you can put it under the first strand of a brighter color, then double strand it with the... So yeah, we got two little ones, two big ones. What did I do with the other one? That's one little one there. We're going. Hang on. We're going to count them when I'm done here. I'm not even... Make sure I didn't get jacked from AliExpress. A lot of people... I still keep hearing about people talking about like they've had issues with AliExpress, but then when you get down to it, they... it was like years ago, like not in the last, 3 to 5, I don't know, however many years. Now that one, is it getting darker? No, they're just dark. So we got 2 and 3. We got one more of that color, and then everything else is the other color. And I can't even make out what color it is until I open them. There's another orange and yellowish green. So yeah, they're all the consistent same, pretty much. All right, let's keep going. Hang on, I'll be done. I know, we're only 30 minutes in. You guys know the deal. That's like a cakewalk. And also, feel free to comment on how insane this is. And you comment if you guys... I need to drink my Diet Coke. This little break brought you in part by Diet Coke. No, not affiliated with Fireball Friday. Just used when I do have Fireball Friday. So, comment. Let me know how many chatterbaits you guys own, because I'll tell you right now, after this haul, even before, let's just face it, before this haul, I have way too many chatterbaits. I can tell you that right now. There was a time when I had a dozen or half a dozen, like probably half a dozen, then a dozen, and now I have like, I don't know, way more than I need. So yeah, the consistency on everything, other than where they have the skirt, where they choose to put it. Looks like all of the little ones have it up top with a dark head and a, so far, I don't think they changed the red. Yeah, the red's like that too, isn't it? Wait, no, the reds are all on bottom consistently throughout. All right, I think we're not done yet with the reds. We got one more red. This is another little with the orange on top. So there's our 4 of those. Need 1 more of those and then 1 more big one. This is the big one, I think. I can make out a red color in that other package I'm looking at over there. I have no idea why they spent all that extra time on tape and package stuff. So yeah, orange on bottom, lighter head with almost a hint of orange. This is the color of the head that I like the best so far. I think it is different. Whoa, get back where you belong. No, this one has like an orangish tint. So the heads are like identical. So the bigger ½ ounce, what they call 14 grams or 14.5, the 10.5 or the 3/8. Now we need 1 more of the red ones, which that is definitely red peeking out in the 3/8. And if you guys are wondering why I have more 3/8 than half, I just have half just for that times, just like what I picked up a couple of the 5/8. There's just times when you want to go same speed but be down a little deeper in the column and you're not worried about it jumping around as much. I don't think it thumps any more than the 3/8. I can't tell if it does or not. So yeah, here's our other dark headed one. I kind of wish these are pretty dark. Like if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't even have messed with these. I would have tried to track down maybe even from a different store, but I don't know if you can tell like by looking at their true on their pictures. Because these were cheap though. Like I think it was under $30 for all 12. It was cheap. But like this color with the, it's just a little better done. Now I added these colors. You can't go off of that. But like even this one started out, you can kind of make out that original color. It was a lighter brown, which, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter because the old, the one that got this whole thing started was the original shell cracker thing is actually a pretty dark brown head. I've since repainted it. You can't see exactly what color, but it was fairly a dark colored head. And I have the ability to paint add up to them, whatever. Okay, so we've got those undone. Let's move now that we know these are going to all go. It's a shame that what I'm going to try to do, just because this is actually good colored skirt material. So when I come in here, and maybe I'll try to show you guys that real quick, because I do have a box. Where's it at? Oh my God, I've got 2 tables over here, and I'm out of room to set anything. It looks ridiculous. Let me set these here for now. Jeez. Set these kind of off out of the way, and these with them. So I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to try to show you guys real quick. Then we're talking bluegill. Hang on. Time out. Let me get my little box so I can throw this stuff in. Because if you save your old, like, say, 10-pound braided line, you got something to tie up new hand-tied jigs. And then as you're cutting off, like I've done with some of these, I'm cutting off basically like new skirt material a lot of times. I throw it like in this box. And, like you can see the blue and orange, like on one of these somewhere, I had the just different strands where you may want to add a few different colors. So what I think I'll try to do, I'm not worried about saving that red. I'll be honest, I hardly ever fish. I've got just a couple red baits in any certain one, other than probably my Toledo Gold Booyah Hard Knockers. That's probably the bait that I'm confident in, that orangish red. All the other ones I've got maybe some chatterbaits. I don't think I have any spinner baits that have orange like on the small Colorado blade, but no red. I'm just not a huge fan of that, so I don't know if I'll save any of that. But what I do is, and I would suggest you can track down these little cheap scissors. These little got a very fine point. Usually all you have to do is pick a spot where you can see, and I'm going to pick a spot on the red because if I cut the red, I don't care. But you just pick a spot, and I'll try to show you. And you can go in there and just kind of cut, and it will usually just open like, yeah, see how easy that is? Now, if you wanted to, lay this somewhere, pull out whatever colors, and because they're already still all together kind of thing, and then attach some of them colors, you could do that. Now, what I'm gonna probably do is make a mess and just, I'll probably save one of these just in case I ever want red. I know what I should do is like put one of those wraps, like well, let me show you. I'm not gonna sit and do it, but I don't know, I may. But like these things also come in handy for that. I'll show you a little trick with that. These little things I buy to like put the hooks, I call them like hook tenders for your, crankbaits, your hard baits to keep them from snagging themselves when you got them together. These little things also, I'll show you real quick. So say you picked up a bunch of skirts and you're like, okay, and you've built yourself this little, like I want to put this on something, right? You're like, oh, I need one of those tools and all that. Technically you don't. You can use one of these. Now you're not going to keep it on there with that, but like put it up against there, twist it behind your finger, go again, bring it back, almost like you're doing that, whatever that one tie off is on. Then go over like 3 times and then just peel that off. You now have this almost. Now, you wouldn't want to just slide that on a bait and try to use it because that, I don't know how long, I never tried it, I don't know how long it lasts. But what you can do is, you can then take this, slide it up on, and I don't really have a good one, but I'll just show you with one of these heads. So you could slide it on one of these. I'm not going to slide it on because then it'll get caught in that. But you can just slide it on, and then it's hard to do when they got a thing on it. And if you guys ever watch me when I thread on, and so then you could basically hand tie it on, or if you have the wire that they do it, and basically do that. So I don't know, and I probably should do all mine like that. I've got them because it's almost pointless to just throw all these away because these are actually very good colors. This, in my opinion, just with a couple other colors added, could be a lot of. They work good just like they are for chatterbaits, for almost any kind of jig. I'm in a bluegill phase. So anyway, but I will save those for other things. A lot of that skirting. I'm not gonna do it in this video. I'm just gonna glob them up. What did I do with that? Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna grab them up and throw them right here in the middle of the chaos peanut butter and jelly deal. So yeah. All right, let's talk bluegill. I just balanced this table. Okay. Let's talk our bluegill stuff. Let me move all my sharp objects out of the way just so we don't hurt nobody other than hooks, right? So here's what that just is darker than I kind of wanted, I'll be honest. So as you can see, it looked like these actually hold together pretty good. It looked like it was very simple to get that off, which it was, but they actually, I wasn't in there cutting with that little sharp scissors. They hold together. I've fished some of them for quite a while, enough to get the head all beat up. If you guys watch the other video where some of these, these didn't fall off. I cut these 4 that I had up here. I cut the skirt off just like I did those there, but they were already used, so I threw most of that stuff away. So this is what you have. The main difference between this and a jackhammer is the hook keeper is different, and it's a slightly different hook, right? It's not the quality of a jackhammer, but it gets the job done. Like, I think these, they're very good. I'm just going to take that off so we can get a look. Take a little gander. Little sharp hook. I've never worried about it. They're kind of with a slight tip down, but I've never had an issue with hookup ratios on different ones. Once I know kind of how to, sometimes I might have to get in the zone. You first get out to go fishing, you may get a little snap happy and, try to set the hook. You don't set the hook with a chatterbait. No matter what rod you got, you kind of just, kind of pull into it and then pull harder as you're reeling, and it just kind of sets in. It's not like a knee jerk or slackline hook set. You're not gonna miss them all, but you're gonna hook up ratio and to land ratio is gonna be way off. So anyway, you guys know that deal. Let's talk about, if you guys remember, go back. If you don't, go back and watch the unboxing, and we talked about all these different ones. I'll try to remember which ones are what to give you the name real quick. The one that I could not remember the name of, and it is almost identical to the other one that was called Bluegrass, which is this one. Was this one up here? That is called Hollywood Craw from Boss. So the Boss Baits ones are this one, which is Bluegrass, Hollywood Craw, and then one of these, this one is just their Bluegill. And then remember, the Dirty Jigs has several different ones. The one I got, Dirty Jigs, is Bluegill 2. So just a Bluegill, and then with the 2 behind it, not it's Bluegill 2. Bluegill 2 is my favorite color of when I went through the Dirty Jig stuff. But honestly, if you guys remember right, I was talking about my favorite, and I picked this dude over here. That is not my favorite. I'll try to remember which brand that was from. It's a 6th Sense, but what was it called? So the Do It one was also one we kind of thought was kind of cool, and I put it on this guy. It and this one are kind of bright, and they're almost, in my opinion, they're probably better off on spinner baits, if you ask me. I'm not saying they won't work on a chatterbait, but I put it on one of these chatterbaits, and I was like, yeah. I guess it'll work, but I'll show you here in a second. I think it was my favorite, Bluegill Fire. So I was like, yeah, that's that one. It's not my favorite anymore. So it's definitely a good one. I think it'll catch fish, but once you get it out and on, in my opinion, it's not as bluegilly as the others. And then the next one, which I thought was also the old school gill, as I'm going to show you, not so much a fan of as I thought I was once I got them on. So the two that I ended up liking the best are the one I couldn't figure out the name, Hollywood Craw, and the Dirty Jigs one, right there, Bluegill. Let it focus. Let it focus. Bluegill 2 from Dirty Jigs. This is my favorite one. Just looking at it in the package and the pictures on Tackle Warehouse, it wasn't my favorite. But once I got it out here, put it on here, and I'll show you my second favorite and my favorite, and then they're all pretty good. So the one that just reminded me most of what this original shell cracker was this one. And I may even add just another couple hits of intensive orange somewhere on it, because if I remember right, this shell cracker had just a touch more of an intense orange in it somewhere. But this one is just a good, and it's called Hollywood Craw. I know, craw, but no, it's that bluegilly shell cracker, all type. There's different types of panfish and like different things, but basically you can change up a few different skirt materials. That's going to look like any sort of a pan fishy thing. You can run a craw deal on it though, like a baby Rage Menace or Rage Menace if you want to run the full size one or whatever. That is for like the fairly clear water, but it's a dark enough bait. I don't know. I think that's going to be a good color. Hopefully, I don't know if it's all coming through. Once you get all these colors, sometimes it doesn't come through as good, but that looks good out here in person. It's a muted look though. It's not. It's for if you're getting around. If it gets too dark, like too overcast, it may fade off. But like that first You know, it's just like it's a touch cloudy. The water is slightly, you know, it's not dirty water. It's maybe just slightly gotten a little dirtier than it was before. You know, the previous times before you're fishing. And same thing kind of with this one, maybe just a little more intense. My favorite one is this dude right here. Just in person looking at it, all the colors it's hard to explain, but they're like bright, but they're not overly bright. So everything stands out, but not too intense in my opinion. And there's literally still a few of these that are still stuck to, and most of these, once you get out fishing them, it's hard to explain, but they actually start looking a little better once they get a little phrase. And this one though, like right out of the package, one that I'm just gonna, I could start fishing. I feel this one and that one, because I'll be honest, usually it's not dark or dirty enough that I run like this dude right here, like the big blade. I have not fished this one yet. Once I get out there fishing it and I peel some of them off, I tone down how intense those colors are. So I feel those two for sure come like you just throw them on and you're like good. If they're hitting bluegills, those two colors will go. The bluegrass one, I just stuck it on this one. I'll be honest, there's a few of them here I may not even use. I may just take off and maybe at some point mix with other colors or something. But this, it just, once you get it on, it just doesn't equal what I feel this one looks like to me. And those are the ones I thought were identical, but once you get them out here, there's just that kind of three color thing going on. There's just that sort of a green, the orange in the belly, and then the blue. It's I'm sure it'll probably work too, but I'll put it to you this way: I will never buy any more of those, and I probably see myself picking up probably another pack of these once I, go through. And I don't know, I still have what, 4 of each of these anyway, so you only need so many bluegills. But I figured between using that one and this one when it's more natural, and then I'll show you the ones that I still like. They're just not my favorite for when it's darker. But like so far, this one I tried to turn into black and blue gill. If you remember right, it had the crazy intense orange. I since added a couple of my regular orange from, I don't even know what I did with that bait. So basically I took, and I forget the name of this pattern, but I took a couple of these mild oranges out, stuck it in there. I took a couple of my black and blue. I put like 2 strands of the crazy one black with the blue in it, and then just a couple strands of the just little flecks of blue, and I added those on basically the opposite side of where the bright orange was, and I added the orange on the belly. So when you mix it together, you almost can't even tell I did anything to it unless you really look at it, and I'd have to put it on a bait to tell. But I'm not impressed with this so far. So that color, this one, I probably won't buy any more. Probably won't buy any more of these. I may go ahead and try to finagle, like I said, and make these work for me for something, but they're not impressed with. Both of the, I guess, regular bluegill ones, the one from Z-Man and this one from, was this the other one from Boss? These are good. These, I kind of like the colors, but I'll be honest, there's just where they put the blue and how much they put in one spot. I may try to slide this back off, move some around. I think this would be better if half of the chartreusey colors were gone. The blue was more blended into these colors. It wouldn't be bad, but I feel these, and they may work just like that. Like I said, I've got all these. I plan on putting them on and trying them at some point before I, completely call it. But as of right now, I feel that this one, just fishing it right out of the package, is same as this one, the Z-Man. Look how crazy I may need to pull a couple of those others out and see if they all have that crazy. They went too far. It's like OG and over golding. They like over yellow chartreuse those. But this one, uh, I think either one of these will work just fine. But if I was going out and you told me I had to go out and catch a fish today, I don't care what the water is going to look like. The first thing I would do would be I'd probably pull these down a little bit and I would clip them, just leave a touch, just like a barely a trace of chartreuse there. And I'd clip about half of that chartreuse off probably. I'd probably leave all the strands, but I may go ahead and take some of these and, well, how many are there? There's like one, two, three, four. No, I'd probably leave them all, but I would do away with a lot of that chartreuse. And for some reason, they got blue right at the top. I tried to get it out, but it's just the way they had put this band together. But that's still, with it, a lot of that chartreuse gone. Now, some of you are probably saying, and I may be in the muddiest of, foot or less visibility water. That may be good with all that chartreuse on it. So, but just me, what I prefer, that these two are kind of they will work, but I probably don't plan on buying any more because I've got all these like this. The craziest intense ones are these ones I got from the customs. They're like insane. But if you're if you're telling me we're going somewhere where there's mud and you want to see if the bluegill work kind of like a, either a bright orange or a chartreuse and white maybe would, this would be it. So I don't plan on changing these at all either. I plan on leaving these alone because as of now, this is kind of each individual. If like I only had that one bait and I was out fishing, but now I got so many, I will start leaving the bright intense ones alone and just trying it because like I got this, if I want subtle, I got this very little bait, no real bright colors. Yes, there's orange, and yes, this needs like trimmed up to make it uneven and a little shorter. Something like what this dude is. And I added some strands to that. So, let's talk about this dude. I just threw these on here just because I could, and I was wanting to see what it looked like. It looks like almost too much. This is another one I don't like. I don't know. I'm going to try it on a couple. I'll probably put, like I said, the one on the ChatterBait just to try it. It looks kind of good on that. Just using it almost like in a mop style on a, just throw it out, like put I don't know, maybe one of those, oh shoot, those little yum crawled chunk, with the brown on one side, orange underbelly, throwing it out and around, pulling it to where the legs will kick, just an intense, crazy something to try. But definitely not impressed with those. I just put one on a swim bait and put one on the football head. And okay, so let's talk about the ones I sort of like, but I think you need the right conditions, water quality. This crazy bright one here, it is definitely like a clowny rainbow. I don't know what. I'm gonna try it. I could be, surprised on the results, but definitely not a fan of just what it looks like. Sticking it on a bait. I don't even know where I would start. Like if I needed to change something, I don't know if the purple little strands are going to do anything. They just seem cluttered and like get in the way, like right here. But once you get out and start fishing it, I don't know. I think it's got too much of this yellowy color. So I think if you pulled half the yellows out and maybe left the orange, because the orange isn't crazy, but then maybe add, I think you could actually add the purple like I did with, maybe add some of the live rubber purple and brown to this bait, maybe just like it is, and then add some of those to just give it that little, darken it up a little bit. I think this bait I could see potential in it, but just out of the package, I'm still like, yeah, I'm going to need certain kind of water. So the one that was my favorite initially, I stuck on this bait because I just took it that it had that look of like it needed to go on a spinner bait. So when you're casting and reeling and it's just flowing, and I'm gonna try it because I always have luck with spinner baits without even using a trailer, and just the way it's kind of long and flowy, stringy looking. I'm gonna try it without and with just to see. But I don't know. I just see that it's a possibility it may work, and if it doesn't, it's the same way. It's got so much of that chartreusey color. I think if it's so much gold already, I think if you did away with half, if not all of that chartreuse, it may do pretty good. Big flat oval head. You talking about this? This is a SV3 knockoff. But awesome. Awesome bait. The yeah, this thing kind of, when you first look at those, but I'm telling you, the way these fish, man, this bait, just if there's a spinner bait that you can detect what's going on with it, this is it. That's why I like it, and it just gets bit. I will show you a trick. Let me just tell you this trick in case you come across this. There may be a better way to do this, but when you're trying to take one of those skirts that have that band on it, and you're trying to get it up and over that flat thing, I was at a loss. I'm like, I don't even know. Like it wouldn't go. I'm sitting here pushing, and you know how you push and pull, and then I hooked myself. I'm like, man, surely I need something like a little, step up. So I know I'm genius, but it took me a while, but I just figured out, and I did not put any time into it. I just grabbed the smallest little bullet weight I could find in my Dremel, and I just dremeled it out to where I made myself this little step up. So you can take your skirt, push it up and on, and then poof, and then you just do it, right? So yeah, it was that simple. That was a red, I don't know, quarter ounce. I don't even know if that's quarter, but a little bitty bullet weight. Now you could probably use any bullet weight, and I just dremeled into the hole and then kind of pried on it just a little. Just got it, just sized it to where it would fit over that. And I was actually surprised once I did it how easily it did work. You still got to push, but I didn't like have to lube it up or none of that stuff. I just got that on there, it went on pretty easy after that. So I had to, this was the first one I did, and it was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I still got some of these other baits that I got to do that too. So anyway, this one, I think this is gonna be a fish catcher. I think it is, just like it is, but I don't think I stuck it on, I forget which one of these. I stuck it on a chatterbait, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. But I like it on that spinner bait. I tend to like my spinner baits more flashy than I do my chatterbaits. Like I think I might like that skirt, left alone on a spinner bait. So anyway, if these swim baits, these are the same kind of way. So when I, put those others on, I knew I needed that, put that on, makes the job pretty simple device to make, to do that with. Still haven't decided which ones I'm going to put on these two. These are also the Mega Bass knockoff ones from AliExpress. I tried to add a little bit of just paint just to get add the more bluegill I could make it look, the better. And dark one, of course, I had to do that too. Now, what I also need to do that I hadn't done to these is add a bait keeper. Otherwise, I'll be sitting there every time, cast it out, throw it, pull it back in, readjust the soft plastic. Oh, stay on there, cast it out, and it probably already moved, so then you're not going to get hit. So anyway, you guys know that trick, right? Just wrap the thread around, like right roughly where the paint stops. Plus, you could, take you a very fine, if you want to mess with scuffing it just a little, but I always just take my thread, old braided line or whatever, just wrap a big ball up, tie it off once, and then, you can do it actually if you want, put a drop of super glue and then start wrapping into the super glue tight, make your little ball, and then just basically cut, without even really tying it. I've done it several different ways just in a hurry to just get something on there that once you put your plastic on, you have it to push over, and then it helps hold it. But there's several different ways to add a way to hold the bait on. Okay, Did I cover everything? Oh my God, we're over an hour in. What's up, Eddie? Yeah, tell him, Eddie, only 2 likes. If I get 1 million likes, I'm gonna go buy one of those oh shoot, Phoenix rods. I'm gonna get one, 6'9". I got a story to tell you, and then I'm gonna probably have to go get something to eat before I get KILLED. Anyway, went to Rogers about this dude. I went up there to get some. I didn't need anything, but I went up there. I was originally gonna get. They had this one, and they had 2 3/8 ounce, just a white and chartreuse. Got the white head with a little bit of red here. But man, one thing I noticed about the Thunder Crickets, the Thunder Cricket 3/8 is this crazy, insane little head. Like, it is very little. It is smaller than that. They just look awkward to me. I couldn't make myself buy them. But plus, they didn't have a gold blade. So this one, they're originally like $13.99 or whatever. That is actually a very good color. Now this one, this paint job. Let me see. Hang on. Anyway, I'm going to finish the story. Hang on a second. Let me do something. I got myself fired up. So, now remember, I put one of these skirts of every brand, every color back. So I can basically, if I want to experiment or play around with all these others, I can. But I could see maybe with that crazy color of a head. But no, then it's too, I don't know. I guess if that'll work and catch fish, maybe I could slap that on it. Stay tuned. At some point, you may see me put that. That looks like it would be, let's try to, that's another thing when you're, I'll try to show you guys that real quick. When you're trying to put these on, I mean, you can just grab it and slap it on, but then you end up with the colors, you know. So even though you're just putting on the skirting material already pre-made kind of thing, it's a good idea to try to get the colors on, you know, get to the center of how they intended. Now, sometimes they just throw them on, and like in my opinion, these orange should be on bottom, these darker purples should be on top, or kind of in the middle, but they kind of have it to where like these. So I know it's kind of a chore. Now, this is a time when if you're the type of person and you want to spread the colors around, you can kind of try to mush them up and get it to where all the colors are, you know, circling around. But what I try to do on most of these is the way they were intended is to sort of be separated, and this one is like crazy. So I want to keep the orange on bottom, but honestly the purple may be better to be spread. But like on one of these, I'll just show you I think it was this one. They had some orange down below, and then it just had some of these strands, they were just up high of the blue. So they had the orange, the blue down with it, and then they had some opposite, and then none on the sides. Like the sides are kind of dull green. And then the other one, that's the Bass Pro. And then this one, they had all of the blues down there, which that's almost too much blue. So this bait, really, I would probably just pull a couple of them blues out and leave it out. So is it better to have maybe a couple blues on top? Man, maybe it is. Maybe I need to redistribute that. Anyway, you can kind of do that before you go to put it on. And once you get them on, you can kind of finagle and, you know, switch it around or whatever. I mean, you can actually literally spin it around. But as far as getting like a couple of these color strands around to that other side, you know, the opposite side, you can kind of cheat it somewhat and do it right here when you flip it up is how you lay them over. You can let them lay how they naturally would. But if you're like, okay, I want a few purple here, there, or whatever. But if you're like, I want all of my colors, you know, all my purples, then you need to almost take them one by one and make sure they aren't, they're all on one side. And then when you come through, I hope you guys can see this. I'm not going to do it. But so then when you do come through with your hook, and you're going to come through there, you don't do it like this, because then when you switch through, all your orange is up in here. So you would want it to actually turn this. So then, just think of this is the bottom. So it's going to just spin up. So then you would want to go in and try to make sure the point of that hook goes in roughly where you want it as you bring it around. And you still may get it up there and be like, oh, dude, this one went here or there. And it's not a huge deal. If you have enough strands, you could always just, if one of the colors seems out of place, you could always just pull it out. And a lot of times you don't need to overthink it to that extreme. But if you just want to get in there and, get them perfect like I do. Like I did sort of this one. See, I like this one because it has, all these colors are kind of everywhere, more or less. This Dirty Jig one, the orange is kind of all over the bottom. The blue is kind of just spread out all over everywhere. And then you have different stages of just a solid green, and then the green with the lines more up top, and then it's got some purple in it. So the strands, they're placed good, and they're good colors. And it just gives it that. Now I do need to go in there. I try to, it's not a huge deal. You can see, I think there some must have got caught right there. But you want to make sure and try not to leave that gap to where if a fish is sneaking in there and looking, see how this side you can't see any of that? This probably makes no difference because I'm going to have a freaking bait sticking to there and not, but I will try to fix that before I actually go out and fish that bait. It probably makes no difference whatsoever. So, I'll have to try it sometime. Are they all lead, a mix, tungsten? I think everything, these are all knockoff baits, majority of these. So I'm pretty sure everything you're looking at is lead. But I'm not 100% sure what these are. I'm guessing lead. They're Megabass knockoffs. I think even the Megabass are lead. I don't think they're supposed to be tungsten.
What?
But they do look shaped a little different than normal lead stuff would be. But I don't know. These are all lead. All the knockoffs. I just got and the ones, the gold-bladed jackhammers, the Thunder Crickets. And I believe the few original jackhammers I do have are just all lead. I don't have any of that tungsten stuff. What's funny is it's better for the environment, and you don't want lead hitting here, and lead causes this, and lead does that. But the tungsten, to get tungsten and all the process to do it, it actually is more harsh on the environment, the processing of it. Do you mind?
I gotta go. Can I take this boy door?
Did you hear her? I gotta go, guys. You guys know how it is.
You coming?
Well, yeah, we're getting something to eat.
Where are we going?
There's two places I don't miss, and that's Fireball Friday and dinner. So anyway, guys, I got to go, but stay tuned. We got a lot more coming up. I'm going to try to get out. I got to go buy a fishing license. You guys see me through all this stuff in the last few months, getting back into it. One thing I haven't done, went and got a fishing license. So I'm going to go get that. I don't know. Maybe get that tonight. Walmart's the best place to get those. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I got to go.